Hello everyone, and welcome back to my election prediction videos where I take a look at the Senate elections going on across America in 2024, and I give my thoughts, analysis, and predictions on the races. And today we are looking at the regularly scheduled Senate election in the state of Nebraska. Nebraska has two Senate elections this year. I will explain more in depth about why in a later video when I cover the special election for U.S. Senate in Nebraska this year. The current senator is a Republican, Deb Fischer, and she is in her second term. In 2018, Senator Fischer's margin of victory was 19%. Now, Nebraska does their allocation of electoral votes a little bit different than other states. In fact, the only other state that does it like Nebraska is Maine. And what happens is that the winner of the state overall gets 2 electoral votes. And then you have to win each congressional district to win the subsequent electoral votes. Well, in 2020, Donald Trump won the state of Nebraska and all but one of Nebraska's congressional districts, and that would be Congressional District 2. So Donald Trump won the state of Nebraska by 19%, and Joe Biden won the second congressional district by just under 7 percentage points. Now, the Nebraska legislature, which is the unicameral, they are the only state in America with one chamber in their legislature, tried to change this in 2024 in the legislative session, but it failed. Nebraska also is unique in that officially nobody is a member of parties in the unicameral, but everybody knows who is who. It's no secret. But the Republicans hold an overwhelming majority in that body, and it failed. The effort failed, and for the 2024 election, Nebraska will still join with Maine as the only state in the country that divides its electoral votes in this unique way. And in 2024, I think that it will still be the same. There's no question that Donald Trump is going to win the state of Nebraska overwhelmingly, and all but one of the congressional districts, I think, the second congressional district will still be won by Biden in this election. Let's take a look at the two nominees. The incumbent senator is Deb Fischer. She is the Republican nominee. And Senator Fischer, since her time in the Senate, has been a pretty mainstream Republican, voting almost consistently with leadership and the majority of her caucus. She's not one of the bomb throwers inside her caucus, and she's not one of the rabble rousers or one of the ones that seeks the limelight. She's a senator that goes to Washington, does her jobs. I'm sure if I wrote her positions down and looked at them, that I would disagree with almost all of them. But she is not one of the senators out there chasing fame and the limelight. Let's take a look at the Democratic nominee. There isn't one. Dan Osborn is a local labor organizer. He worked at a Kellogg plant in Omaha and led a strike at that plant and is running as an independent. And initially, he had apparently told the Democratic Party in Nebraska that he would work with them in the election. He was just going to run as an independent. Well, lo and behold, just after the primary, he said, no, I'm not going to do that. I reject all party labels. So now the Democrats are scrambling to get a write-in candidate. So there was no Democratic primary. Senator Fischer did face some gadfly opposition in her attempt to get nominated for a third term. She was very successful in that venture, receiving over 80% of the vote. So what's my thoughts? I think Senator Fischer is going to be elected to a third term. There's no doubt in my mind how this race is going to turn out. One, there's no Democratic opposition, and the hill to climb for Mr. Osborn is very significant. Nebraska is an overwhelmingly Republican state. The only real pockets of Democratic support are in that 2nd congressional district. But just like I said, pointed out, Donald Trump won the state by 20%, and Joe Biden managed a single-digit victory in that 2nd congressional district. So even though Joe Biden won the 2nd congressional district, and by a little bit of a comfortable margin, there's still a significant amount of Republicans, and I really don't think that an independent who has rejected all party labels is going to win. So Senator Fischer will be elected to a third term and continue to serve in the United States Senate.